Hello again and welcome to March West Junction TMD. And in today's video I want to talk about the hobby and how expensive it's getting, or is it? So grab yourself a drink and we'll have a little talk about some facts that I've come across and some of my findings as well with bargains. Okay, so the question is it getting too expensive, the hobby? And in some respects, yes, and other respects, no. For example, brand new products released from Bachmann and so on, they are very expensive brand new, but there is a hell of a lot of detail in there. A lot more than what we're used to and what we usually get from the past. So yes, it's expensive and it's an expensive hobby if you just want to go down the route of buying new. But on the other side of it, there's a company called Scale that's doing a fantastic job of bringing new products out for around the £170, £190 mark with all those details. And that is just DCC ready. I think it's absolutely amazing that, you know, a company can come onto this market and do those sort of prices. And it's encouraged the other manufacturers to lower their prices as well, like the Class 31s, they've dropped in price with Bachmann. So it just shows that there is some wiggle room for the manufacturers to sort of lower the prices a little bit. Now, if you still want to buy new and you want to bargain, one of my videos is a Class 90 that I had for Christmas. My wife bought it me. It was less than £100, but it was £100. Now, yes, it was in DB red, but everyone's going on Dean Park's forum. They were saying, "Oh, it's niche. It's only to a certain era." Well, actually, that's not quite true. The actual DB livery that was applied to that was in the 90s when they did 4 of the actual Class 90s in different liveries for different countries. So it's now and the 90s because they've re-livered one of those locos. I think it's called Sir McAlpine. I think they've named it. So that livery's still running today, but slightly different. And also in the 90s it was running. So it has got quite a broad area that you could model with that. And that was £100 from Kerno, and it's still available now. Now, talking about Kerno, I did a video on coaches. They were knocking out Mark 3 coaches, Mark 1 coaches, some Mark 2 coaches for like £23, around the £23 mark. Now, I didn't realise until I went to the DEMU show in Sutton Coldfield and I was speaking to the guys that if you buy 4 coaches, they knock another 10% off. So there's another bargain to be found with brand new stuff. So you need to look out for these bargains if you're on a tight budget. Now, second-hand wise, I can honestly say there's some fantastic bargains out there. I went to the Stafford Toy Fair just before New Year, and it was absolutely amazing, some of the prices. There was traders there selling Class 56s Hornby, Class 60s for around the £100 mark. Bachmann's 57s, 37s and 66s for around the £80 to £90 mark. I could not believe how cheap some of the second-hand stuff is compared to Fleabay. You look on Fleabay, it's just getting ridiculous. I mean, the Class 90 I just spoke about, they're selling on there for £140. And like I say, you still can pick them up from Kerno for £100. Now, some of the traders as well were selling new stock, but it's under second hand, so it's new old stock, as Jenny Kurt will say. £5. I could not believe how cheap stuff was. There was another guy, Footplate Models, great guy. He has a laugh and a joke. He was saying all the stuff he's brought today is all the tats, because when you go to Stafford show, people don't want to spend the money. But he was selling wagons for £5, coaches for £10. Now some of the coaches in there were the new Hornby Mansell. Put a comment below the proper name, I don't know, 'cause it's Steam era. For £10. I bought a Warwell off him, an Oxford one, for £14.50, which I'll show you on the bench in a bit, what I got from the Stafford show. And if I told you I got a Dynamis base station for £1 and it works in perfect order, and I only bought it because I thought I'd have it as a spare, you wouldn't believe me, but I did. And that's what I'm saying about the hobby. Yes, it's expensive brand new. Yes, it's cheaper when you have discounts from shops, but it's even cheaper when you buy second hand. Over the back behind the camera, I'm building a layout, Treccoon Valley Railway, and it's a 00009 layout. And so far, with the rolling stock, I'm up to about £750. The layout is less than £500, and that's with the controllers. Now, yes, my model shop was closing down. It was selling silly things like controllers for £5, locos half price, buy one get one free. So, like for a small little 009 loco, large England's £40. It works out if you buy two, £40 each. So yes, that is a one-off, but there are still some of them shops doing some bargains that are crazy, absolutely crazy, and you just need to look out for them. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take you over to the bench, and I'll show you what I've bought from the Stafford Toy Fair, and it just cost me, I think it was £41.50 or something like that for the job lot that's on there, from different traders. So let's go over to the workbench. Okay, we're over at the workbench, and this is what I bought from the Stafford Showground Toy Fair, and I just couldn't believe how cheap everything was. Like I say, it was absolutely fantastic. I'll just quickly start off with the first thing I bought, which was these China clay wagons. Now they're unboxed. There's one with the peaked roof hood and the other one with the flat roof. Weathered. It's hardly run. I can't see any marks on the wheels, but obviously they're not boxed. They're out of a triple pack set, and obviously someone beat me to the others. I think this one's supposed to have a flat hood like that because it's in the same running numbers as it. So when you call up the code for that one, this is under the same code, but obviously a different actual running number, but it goes with it. So I presume that one has had the hood changed. Now that one was £4.50 and that was £5. I thought, wow, fantastic bargain, really cheap. Then I went round to this guy that I know, and he lives down in Dawlish Way, and he does all the shows all the way up to this direction, all the way down south. And on his stand, he was selling these tree armatures, which are the Woodland Scenic ones. And I've been after some of these for Treccoon Valley Railway because I've run out. Now, a pack of 12 of these, I think it's 12 you get in there, are averaging about £15 to £20. And as you can see, I paid £2.50 for them. Absolute steal. And the same guy was doing these wagons. Now, I just walked past the first time and I looked at the prices, £12.50, £10, and I thought, they're really cheap, but thought nothing of it. Later on in the day, I went past and noticed there was a piece of paper resting on top of them, all wagons, £5. So these wagons here, there's a weathered guards van, that's its code, that was £5. Another weathered van, that's its code, £5. Then we got this one as well, ventilated van, £5. And then we got this one as well. Now this one has the wrong box, so hence that's the proper running number for it. Sorry, the catalogue number. And that was £5. I just couldn't believe how cheap it was. Now, there's a guy there from Rudland Models, which is the model shop by Alan at Dragon Junction, Laudale. And he was there, and he was selling these 009 wagons, and I've painted them up, 3D printed, and they were £4.50 for the three. Obviously you got to print them and add your wheels and couplings or whatever, but £4.50, and they're really well detailed. And I've bought loads of stuff from Rudland Models. If you like your rusty rail stuff, Rudland Models are actually selling the rusty rail stuff in N gauge, O gauge, and in double O for £2.50 a pack. I've had loads off him in the past. You just can't believe how cheap it is. Even the boilers, the steam boilers, he's doing them £2.50. So I'll put a link below to Rudland Models. The next thing I want to talk to you about is this. Now this was from Footplate Models. He was there, and this was £14.50, and it's the Warwell, that's the code for it. I didn't even bother haggling with him, and he did say to me, "Has that come off the pile for £10?" Thinking it was with the coaches for £10. And I'm an honest guy, and I says, no, it come off the one at the back. It was away from them. And he went, okay, thanks for being honest. But like, still at £14.50, I feel like I've robbed him. They're over 30 quid, they are, if you can get them. They've all sold out. And then one of my absolute bargains was this. Now, it ain't got the power lead, but I've tried it on my layout because I've got a Dynamics, because this can plug into the top of another one. Via there at the bottom, and it was £1. I only bought it just in case I've got one of them that's broke, because they come apart, they just clip off, and I just can't believe it was £1. Absolute steal. But the bargains aren't just at the Stafford show. Worley had a show at Statfold Barn, Statfold at Worley, and I picked up these 009, which I've mentioned before. And these were £5 for the two. Worked out. In fact, I think it was £4 or something. They're a couple of quid each. I mean, the wheels alone are more than that if you was to buy them. I don't know what brand these are. If anyone knows what they are, because they're like kits, then please put it in the description below. But I thought, sorry, not the description, the comments. But please put a comment below. If you know who makes these, just so I can catalogue them and put them on my list. And but like I say, the bargains aren't just restricted to toy fairs, at train shows. So, you know, there is the bargains out there. Okay, just before I go, I just want to show you other bargains I've had in the past. A few bargains around the layout. I'm not going to spend a lot of time because I don't want to bore you. But for example, these signals here, they're seconds from Dapol. Now some work, some don't, but because the boxes have been ripped open, they return them. I was paying £2.50 for them. They're a little bit more now. I think they're a £5 they're selling for. But they're great little signals. They all light up when I've got power to the layout. But they are really, really nice. If I just plug it in, you'll see that they light up, see? And they do work, some of them. I mean, that signal at the back, as you can see, it works. Funny angle. But there is other bargains to be had. A recent video I did was these wagons here. They were £5 for the three. And it's because the couplings were damaged. But 3 Oxford Rail wagons for the cheap price of £5. Other bargains I've had is all the buildings I've never paid full price. They've all been averaging around £10 on the second-hand market. That little hut there was free. It comes with a magazine. So you just got to look out for these bargains to make this hobby affordable. All the buildings at the back are all bargains that I've bought around the £10 mark. I think the actual church was a £5. The art shop in the middle, Metcalfe, that was free with a magazine. So there is bargains to be had. If I just take you around the other side, again, there's loads of buildings that I've bought cheap. The actual engine shed I bought from a model shop in the sale, and I paid, I think, 20 quid for that. A lot of the figures are from the knock range, which come with the calendars, which is another way of getting them cheap. And like I say, a lot of my stuff now is second hand. I used to buy everything brand new, but now I buy so much second hand. I mean, these wagons are from Mark, Model Rail Fantasia. He's the guy that's doing 3D printed and selling them on eBay at the moment. I think they're £6 or something like that, or £6.50. I mean, look at them wagons compared to these Bachmann ones. Yeah, these are weathered, the Bachmann ones, but they don't look too bad. They look really good. And if I take you over this side, now this is my 00900 layout, and the majority of the stuff on this layout I've bought is new, cheap, or second hand. The track I bought was 2 packs of the starter sets to do all the track, and they were £80 from Rails of Sheffield. These wagons here again are £3.50 from Rudland Models. Same as the Corvette there, that's from Rudland Models, which I've joined up, I've hacked that. But like a lot of the stuff I've just bought when I can get it cheap. Just round the back, the controllers. Like I say, that controller on the right I bought from my local model shop because it was closing down for 5 quid. The telegraph poles, which have got to go on the layout there, they were £10 from Monk Bar Models. So there's absolute bargains. Now this layout on its own, I think it's about £470 we're up to at the moment. Everything you see comes in with that budget. Paints, everything, glues, the power controllers, the lot. And like I say, the rolling stock, I'm about £250. I can run enough rolling stock on here. This building here was on eBay for £2.50, unpainted, but it was a second because it got holes in. So it was from the actual manufacturer, brand new, and I sprayed it up grey and then picked out the grey. The signs I got from, I think they're called scale scenes, I think they're called. And they print them for you with the name. They put the name, 3D print them with your name on, and you paint them up. And they were like ridiculous, like a £5 or £6, something like that. All the trees on the layout are from Woodland Scenics, and that was a pack I bought, and it was a ridiculous price. If you look at one of my older videos of bargains, you'll see. The signal box was a bargain. The station name here, I've printed myself off the internet. That wagon we got from the Worley show, Worley Open Day, and it was a couple of quid. 2 quid I think I paid for it. So, like I say, summing up, the hobby is getting expensive if you want to buy brand new at retail price. But like with the shops now, they're having to discount them because people can't afford to buy them. So luckily, there is bargains out there. And like I say, you've just got to spend the time. And the most important tip I can give you is patience. I've been after stuff and I've been tempted to buy it because I want it. But then I've waited and waited and I've ended up with it at a cheaper price. So patience is a key thing to getting bargains. Okay, that brings me to the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed it and you've got something from it. If you have, don't forget to share with your friends and don't forget to hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you get notified when I do a new video on either one of my layouts, or I have some more bargains that I've found. And hit the bell icon, like I say, and just to make sure you get notified. And I'll see you again at the next one. So thank you very much for stopping by, and bye for now.